Hi everyone. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2020. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. All day long. All day long. Yesterday was Sunday. Tomorrow will be Tuesday. Oh, what fun. Woo! Oh, what fun. Woo! So today is Monday. We're still in the month of spring, but when I looked outside the window this morning, I saw that there is snow falling down. So sometimes it can snow in the spring. Last week and the week before, when we were together at school, we planted some seeds into little pots. We planted some herbs. So over the weekend, I went to the school to get them because we talked about what plants need to grow. They need soil, they need sun, and they need water. So I brought them home so that I could water them each day. So let's check on our seeds and see what's happening. You can actually see here in the cilantro pot that the seeds have sprouted into little tiny cilantro plants. Those look pretty tall. You see the little leaves on the top, and the roots are growing down into the dirt. So the cilantro seeds have sprouted, and the oregano seeds have sprouted. Can you see the oregano seeds? They're really tiny little plants. And the chives, I don't see any chive plants growing yet. All I can see is the dirt. But we'll keep watching, and I'll keep watering. I'll make sure they get plenty of sun. And then the last one, the parsley, have also sprouted, and those are maybe the smallest. See the tiny little green plants poking out? So I'll continue to take care of these, and I wonder if you've planted any seeds at your house yet. Spring is a good time to plant seeds. But I don't know if they would do very well outside in this weather, in the cold snow. So it might be best to plant your seeds inside first and then wait until the snow is all done to move them outside. So today we're going to start reading from a book of poems called When Green Becomes Tomatoes. And if you look carefully on the cover, you can see a green tomato. This book starts, there are poems for different days throughout the year. Not every day, but every few days. And it starts in the season of spring. And in this picture of spring, you can see that there's snow on the ground, but yet the trees are blooming and there's a bird out. So I'm going to read these two poems today. The first one is called March 20th, March 20th was last Friday. From a snow-covered tree, one bird singing, each tweet poking a tiny hole through the edge of winter and landing carefully, balancing gently on the tip of spring. And this poem is called March 22nd, which was yesterday. Just like a tiny blue hello, a crocus blooming in the snow. I've noticed on some of my walks around my neighborhood that there are crocuses blooming. But there hasn't been any snow, but maybe after today we will have some snow on the ground. We'll see. So today we're going to play It's Time to Trick the Kids Again. But this time, instead of playing on the xylophone, we're going to play with my trumpet. So I'm going to do 3 songs and see if you can sing along to them. If you know these songs, you can sing along. And if you don't know, that means I tricked you. Okay, here's the first one. Try that again. You know that song? I made a little mistake at the end, but that is Do You Know the Muffin Man? Okay, let's see if you know this one. singing Over in the Meadow. You got it. Over in the meadow. And let's see, one more. I'm going to trick you this time, I think. It goes like this. Let me try that again. Did you know that one? It was Down by the Bay. Maybe I didn't trick you this time. All right, I have the book today. It's one of our favorite books at home called Tabby, McTat, the Musical Cat. It is a fiction story written by Julia Donaldson and pictures by Axel Scheffler. Tabby McTat, the Musical Cat. Let me see if I can scoot them. You can see the pictures. There we go. Tabby McTat was a busker's cat with a meow that was loud and strong. The two of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in the old checked hat, and this was their favorite song. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. One morning, while Fred ate some bacon and bread, McTat took a stroll around the block, then stopped, for there on a doorstep sat a gorgeously glossy and green-eyed cat. She was black with one snowy white sock. Sock and McTat had a cat-to-cat chat, and that's how their story began. For while they were chatting of this and of that, a thief had his eye on the old checked hat. He eyed it. He snatched it. He ran. The busker gave chase, but he tripped on a lace, and crash, in a flash, he was down. He broke his leg, and he banged his head, and he ended up in a hospital bed in a faraway part of town. Goodbye, McTat said. I must get back to Fred. But where had the busker gone? The sun went down and the sky grew black. The stars came out, but he didn't come back. McTat lingered on and on. See him waiting? A week later, Sock took a stroll around the block and found her new friend looking thin. He's gone off and left me, said Tabby McTat. Then Sock said, my people, Prunella and Pat, would gladly find room for a fine tabby cat. She was right, and they took McTat in. Next morning, old Fred left his hospital bed and found his way back to the square. But a brass band stood where the pair once sat, and the band played this, and the band played that, and Fred looked all around for his loud meowed cat, but Tabby McTat wasn't there. Now McTat had a wife and a very full life with plenty of things to do, like washing Prunella, and pouncing on Pat, and hiding the car keys under the mat, and keeping the newspapers nice and flat, and giving the pens an occasional bat, and nibbling this and nibbling that, but he dreamed of his friend with the old checked hat, and always woke up with a meow. And often he said, what happened to Fred? And his paws took him back to the square. But a conjurer stood where the pair once sat, and he pulled out this and he pulled out that, and people threw coins in the tall black hat, but the busker was never there. One morning, Sock said, "Look under the bed and see the 3 kittens I've had." And Soames looked like this, and Susan like that, and the littlest kitten, called Samuel Spratt, looked exactly the same as his dad. The 3 kittens grew, and they learned how to mew, and McTat sometimes sang them his song. And Samuel Spratt, with his tabby gray fur, had a deafening meow and a very loud purr, and he simply loved singing along. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. When Susan and Soames found very good homes, their parents were happy and proud. There was one home like this, and another like that. But nobody wanted poor Samuel Spratt. They all said, "His voice is too loud." Now Tabby McTat was a home-loving cat, but he couldn't stop dreaming of Fred. And one day he called for his wife and his son, and he told them, "There's something that has to be done. I must go and find him," he said. So up and down and all over town he wandered the whole week long, for many a morning and afternoon, by the light of the sun and the light of the moon, till he heard a familiar song. You see who's following him? Look. See Samuel Spratt following his dad. Just me and my old guitar. If I had a cat, I'd be happier far. Just me and my old guitar. With my cat, I'd be happier far. It's Tabby McTat, it's my long-lost cat. Old Fred was ecstatically glad. Then the 2 of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in the new checked hat. But why did McTat feel sad? He was missing his wife and his comfortable life and the dozens of things to do, like washing Prunella and pouncing on Pat and hiding the car keys under the mat and keeping the newspapers nice and flat and giving the pens an occasional bat. But how could he tell the busker that? Then out from his shadow sprang Samuel Spratt. "Oh, please let me be the busker's cat," he said with a deafening mew. Now Samuel Spratt is the busker's cat, with a meow that is loud and strong. The 2 of them sing of this and that, though Samuel sings just a little bit flat, and people throw coins in the old checked hat, and this is their favorite song. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. The end. Okay, our song coming up next is a song that I like to play with Alan, so I will be playing our song of the day with Alan today. I hope you have a wonderful day and maybe take a walk out in the snow. All right, I'll see you soon.